From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fbx Evening News.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Our top story, opening statements began today in the attempted murder case of a Fairbanks man, Norman Beverly.
That's right. Now we have more details in this report.
Details of Norman Beverly's case in front of a jury of 10 women and 4 men.
Norman Beverly did these things to a person you will be introduced to and you will hear from.
Tamarian said this happened. Tamarian said this happened. Tamarian said this happened. Later she changed her story and she said this really happened. Tamarian White's a liar.
Prior to trial, not much has been released about the details surrounding the attempted murder, kidnapping, and assault charges. Today, those were outlined.
Mr. Beverly came into the room and he said some very odd things.
Give me the gun, don't, he kept saying, put it down. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
And he pointed that gun at her and he shot her. She, point blank, in the face.
The prosecution said the abuse didn't end there.
She stabbed him in the head. She'll tell you that too.
She stabbed him in his temple, she stabbed him in his bicep, she stabbed him in his deltoid, and then she sliced his finger.
Beverly's defense said it was him who was injured and the victim's statements were inconsistent.
Norman, the attempted murderer, without even putting on his shoes, got Tamarian into the car and took her to the hospital. He wanted to kill her, but he took her to the hospital to go get treatment, even though she didn't want to.
The victim, Tamarian White, took the stand to testify against her alleged assailant.
I don't know who that was sitting next to me. He just looked dark.
Beverly faces a total of 12 charges, including kidnapping, attempted murder, and felony assault. Trial is expected to continue into next week. From Fairbanks Superior Court, I'm Stephanie Woodard.
Alaska Governor Bill Walker today proposed eliminating 329 state positions as part of a spending package that might still require billions of dollars in savings to balance. The state faces a $3.6 billion budget deficit amid a crash in oil prices. Walker has proposed cutting $239 million in unrestricted state general funds for agency costs from the current year. Total spending is proposed to be at $10.4 billion. The proposal is a starting point for talks, one that lawmakers have been eagerly anticipating. Some have suggested the cuts may not be deep enough. Walker says the administration will work to minimize layoffs. More than half of the positions to be eliminated are vacant or will be vacated through retirements, resignations, or transfers. Still, Walker says presenting this budget is the toughest task he's performed as Alaska's governor.
It's a tough one because it involves people's lives. It's services that are near and dear to our heart that we've gotten used to. It's one that hurts, and it's not one that I enjoyed being presenting. But it's one that's necessary. At roughly $10 million a day deficit, we had to do something. We had to make some step forward. Can we balance the budget by cuts? We absolutely cannot.
A Fairbanks woman faces criminal charges after allegedly selling narcotics to a police informant. 48-year-old Dana Sweat was arraigned yesterday in district court on a single count of third-degree drug misconduct. That's a Class B felony. Sweat allegedly sold $250 worth of crack cocaine to an informant in November of 2014. Her bail is set at $10,000.
Heart disease is the #1 killer of women, more than all forms of cancer combined. Most women don't notice the symptoms of heart disease until it's too late, which is why heart disease has been called the silent killer. Tomorrow is National Wear Red Day, where everyone is asked to wear a red piece of clothing to help raise awareness of women's heart disease. Locally, one business that will be throwing their support behind this worthwhile effort are the 2 Fred Meyer shopping centers on the west and east side of town.
Yes, we are celebrating Go Red Day for women. We are going to be wearing red. Our associates, they're going to donate $1 to the American Heart Association, and we also have bag stuffers that we're going to put in every customer's shopping bag. It gives them a little bit of education about heart disease and how it affects women, precautionary things to look for, and how to prevent it.
All right, when we come back, tomorrow is First Friday for many businesses downtown. We'll tell you who's in the spotlight.
Also, it's time for another edition of Fairbanks Flavor. Tonight, our chef will show us how to mix mahi and pesto for a wonderful meal. Stay with us. And welcome back. The University of Alaska Fairbanks Student Drama Association has been working all winter to present 2 original features. The students are presenting the collaboration in the form of their annual Winter Shorts event. There are 2 main plays. When All Else Fails is the first. It's about a politician under fire by the media for the mistakes he's made involving his position and his family. The second is a play called Saucy Jacks. That one's about 2 students making a music video and in part covering a taboo affair. The features are spaced in between improvised acts by the Ground Squirrel Improv Troupe. Winter Shorts happens every Friday and Saturday at 7:30 p.m. until mid-February in the Lab Theater at UAF, and the productions are meant for an adult audience.
So it's going to be $10 for the general public. I honestly think this is one of the better shows that have happened in the last couple of years. The people are all fantastic. They're all brilliant. They've all devoted so much time, thought, energy. And all I can say is that when it all comes down to it, it's funnier than what you're going to see on TV, and it means more.
Tomorrow is First Friday for those looking to peruse some shops for a fun time and a good deal in the Golden Heart City. The Downtown Association of Fairbanks hosts this event every first Friday of the month. The Phillips Studio and Gallery on Wells Street is holding an art fundraiser to benefit Steve Hollowbone, who's been diagnosed with melanoma. If Only on Cushman Street is introducing sand-etched drinking glasses made by artists from Kasilof, Alaska. Another feature this First Friday is with the Second 2 Street Gallery. It's showing off the newest creations from artist Jennifer Cameron, who specializes in creating special interpretations of the Alaska habitat.
She's going to be showing some brand new prints with sort of a lithographic look to them. She already has stuff on display at 2 Street. She's been part of the gallery for a while now, and the gallery just seems to keep getting bigger each year. They had 22 artists last year, and now they have 25 artists in the co-op.
All right, and now let's swing by Lisa's kitchen, and to see what dish she's cooking up, I think I smell basil.
Buongiorno, welcome to Fbx Flavor. I'm Lisa Gambardella, and I'm downtown at my restaurant, Gambardella's Pasta Bella. And today we're making a really delicious dish that I fell in love with this as a sandwich when I visit my sister in Florida. It's mahi pesto. Put some extra virgin olive oil in there, and I put the mahi in there. You want to make sure your pan's hot first. When you're sauteing, start with a hot pan. It's really important because you don't want to poach it. It's just not as good when you're poaching. Put a little white wine in there. Hello. Bring on the fire. Woo! I'm going to use some pre-made pesto, which is actually a combination of basil and cheese and garlic already pre-made. But later, we're going to bump it up with some fresh basil. Woo! Fresh is always best, as you know. This is a great dish with pasta or on a sandwich. You can put it on a salad. It's fantastic either way. Wow, so let that cook a little while. Look at that. Wow, that looks fantastic. I'm gonna add a little more white wine. Sauté is an art. Depends on your heat level. Pay attention to how much sauce you want on there, and that's important. Wow, that's fantastic. You can use pine nuts or walnuts. That is the authentic pesto. I'm gonna add a little pasta in there. Woo! Wow. Make it at home. Or come down to Gambardella's and I'll make it for you. This has been Fairbanks Flavor, mahi pesto sandwich with pasta or veggies. See our recipes at webcenter11.com.
Brought to you by Gambardella's Pasta Bella.
Always just cooking it up in there.
That's right.
So good. Remember, we want our samples there, Lisa.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, well, up next, Joe Cook brings you up to speed on hockey. The Ice Dogs, Nanoks, and High School are all in action this weekend.
Plus other prep conference championships as sports comes your way after the break.
Welcome back, Interior Sports fans. Joe Cook here in the Sports Seat for you this evening with your local Thursday sports. The Fairbanks Ice Dogs will close out their 7-game homestand this weekend against their in-state rivals. The Kenai River Brown Bears come in with a 29-2 record. They're second to last in the NAHL standings. Kenai ended a 14-game losing streak by winning a series against the Cooley Region Chill 2-1, but they were swept last week by Wenatchee, being outscored 20-4. Meanwhile, Fairbanks has won 8 of their last 10 games. With a 28-13-3 record, they are 1 point behind the Minnesota Wilderness for first in the Midwest. So far, the Ice Dogs are 16-5-1 at the Dipper. After this weekend, 4 of their next 6 are at home as they try for a late push to get a possible #1 overall seed for the playoffs. The Ice Dogs lead the Raven Alaska Cup Series against the Brown Bears 7-1. Chandler Madry, he has scored 17 points so far against Kenai this season, while Kevin Aldridge, he's 3-0. Fairbanks can win their 3rd straight cup with a sweep this weekend. More importantly, they want to shore up some things this weekend that will help them late in the year and into the playoffs.
Well, we definitely got to keep things simple. We know Kenai's a division rival, and they always have a good game against us. We got to come out hard and transition quick and just move our feet. And whenever we have a power play, penalty kill, it doesn't really matter. So we just got to make sure we keep working hard and outwork them and win, race the loose pucks.
I think as a team we need to work on our consistency. I think we need to be good back-to-back nights. We need to play a full 120 minutes. Our consistency through periods hasn't been great, so the last few weeks we need to work on that and get some special teams going as well.
In the biggest girls basketball tournament of the season, other than the state tournament in March, 2 interior teams advanced to the gold bracket in the Diamond Lady Lynx Prep Shootout. Here are the game results. Lathrop Malamutes and West Valley Wolfpack both won their shootout openers on Wednesday. Lathrop won 63-27 over West Anchorage. Cheyenne Dybert had 13 points and 10 rebounds in the first half, while Jana Hadukovic, she scored a game-high 14. West Valley also cruised in a 59-26 win against Juneau Douglas. Ruthie Hebert, she scored a game-high 24. The Wolfpack will play Thunder Mountain to start gold bracket play, while the Malamutes will host Diamond tonight. This Friday and Saturday, local 4A wrestling teams will compete in the state tournament in Chugiak High School. Coming in, the defending state champion Wasilla Warriors and Colony Knights, they bring in the most qualifiers with 25 apiece. Last year's runner-up South Anchorage has 21, while the MAC champion Patriots bring in 20. Lathrop and West Valley both have 12 qualifiers. The Wolfpack still lead the state in titles since 1972 with 9. The second most individual titles with 58. North Pole is seeking its first state title. Lathrop will try to get their 4th. The highest finish for an interior team in recent memory was Lathrop's 2nd place finish in 2009-2010. The year before, North Pole also finished in 2nd place. In last year's state tournament, Lathrop's Joe Dickinson and North Pole's Ben Davis were the only interior wrestlers to win gold. This year's contenders include North Pole's Ethan Shoemaker and West Valley's Joey Frissalome. They are a top 5 in the 152-pound class. Lathrop's Micah E., Jack Dickinson, West Valley's Jason Love, North Pole's Dylan Walker, and Dew Rogers are the other hopefuls. While those wrestlers are going for gold in Anchorage, some of their classmates will be trying to win a hockey conference title. The Greatland Conference Hockey Tournament begins today in Big Lake. Defending state champion Hutchinson, a 3-seed, opened tourney play against the Tri-Valley Warriors, and they won big, 8-0 today. Number 2 Monroe will play Hutchinson at 8 o'clock tonight. Number 1 seed Delta Junction, they will face the Houston Glen Allen winner. The Mid-Alaska Conference Tournament starts on Friday. The top seed West Valley Wolfpack will start against rival Lathrop at 5 on Friday at the Patty Center. Number 2 versus number 3 North Pole and Juneau, they will follow at 7:30. A win and you're in as the top 2 seeds advance to the 4A state tournament. The 3rd place game is Saturday at 5 between the losers of those openers. Lastly, there will be more high school competition this weekend where championships will be won. Up at Birch Hill, weather permitting due to the recent cold temperatures, the Region 6 ski championships will be Friday at 3 o'clock for the mass start free technique races, and day 2 of skiing competition on Saturday at 11 o'clock will be the relays and classic technique races. The Lathrop girls won the 2013 title along with the Wolfpack boys team, but last year West Valley swept the sprints and relays. They will aim for consecutive sweeps at regionals this weekend. And that's it for sports tonight. Mike Schultz is next with your 4-weather forecast, and we'll catch you next time.
Hey everyone, welcome back into our Thursday night newscast. It's time for weather. Mike Schultz with you once again, and no change from yesterday's unfortunate outlook. Again, cold temperatures, severe cold temperatures all the way through the weekend. We'll talk more about that in just a little bit. Taking on a moonlight ride, this time with Virginia Rigdon. She was able to capture this as she was going to work. Nice big moon there in the background. And as always, if you have photographs you want to share, by all means send it to photos@ktvf11.com and we will share with the rest of the audience. Here's your almanac right now. 18 below after a high of 17 below. The low last night was 36 below. I keep saying below. 39 above in 1980 for the record high. 56 below in 1968. Your sunrise and sunset, a little more than 7.5 hours of daylight, a gain of 6 minutes from yesterday. The satellite picture, not a whole lot to talk about, mainly because there is not a whole lot going on for the most part, except over southeast Alaska, and it is just, they're just getting plowed over there. We'll tell you about that in just a little bit. There's a lot of snow going on there. And as far as the satellite and radar out of the way, you can see the map. Again, snow falling across the Ketchikan area. How much you're not going to believe. It's going to be pretty impressive. Anchorage, 24 degrees, a little cool. Kodiak, 33. And the single digits for Nome and Bethel with 19 below at Barrow. A little wind up there too. Fort Yukon at 38 below. Lower 48 weather, once again, more rain moving across the Pacific Northwest, and that rain could get pretty darn heavy at times. We'll tell you why in just a little bit. More rain moving across the Central Plains, mixing with snow around the Minneapolis area. With that temperature, it better be, otherwise it's going to be freezing when it gets there. And elsewhere, you can see over the Florida Peninsula, some rain showers there. Things are finally clearing up over the northeast. On the satellite and radar, that system moving rapidly out over the Atlantic Ocean. A little bit of activity moving across the Great Lakes. And then clear skies for the Central Plains, and then you get to the West Coast and look at all the rain that's moving in on those folks there. It's going to be quite a bit of it. As you can see here, stormy stretch for Friday and Saturday, flash flooding and strong winds. Snow levels pretty high, so a lot of moisture, a lot of water coming down. They do need it, but not all at one time. And what's going on as far as the jet stream, again, way up to the north, bringing more moisture across from the Pacific Ocean and some snow across the Great Lakes and over the northeast. Well, nice weather down to the south. Back to Alaska for tomorrow in the northern sections, blowing snow at Barrow. Ice fog for Fort Yukon, but mostly sunny skies in Nome. Here in the interior, we're looking at a little ice fog in the morning, burning off and then becoming mainly clear skies, but gusty winds are possible near the Healy area. Over southeast Alaska, here it comes. Look at this. High wind warning for Juneau and up to 2 feet of snow in the Ketchikan area by Saturday, the way it looks right now. Amazing. Over the southwest part of the state, looking at lots of sunshine at Cold Bay, Bethel, and Kodiak. While over the south central regions, we'll be looking at, for the most part, sunny skies across the region, but strong winds in the Valdez area. Okay, time once again for our kids' weather, and all this week we've been talking with the kids from University Park Elementary School, but tonight, here's the teacher with an interesting weather fact.
Hello, I'm Mrs. Heine, and this is my 3rd grade class here at University Park Elementary School, and we have a weather fact to share with you. Class, did you know that even though it is rare for lightning to hit the same place twice, the Empire State Building in New York is struck by more than 500 bolts in a year? Whoa!
It's always good to hear those kids are amazed by those weather facts. Thanks to Mount McKinley Bank for sponsoring our kids' weather. And next week, we're going to have the kids from Watershed School here. One real quick look at our road conditions for Thursday night. Icy patches and packed snow and gusty winds for you truckers headed up to the north on the Dalton and Elliott highways. Otherwise, the Steeves-Richardson Highway snows on the roadway, black ice and icy patches here and there. And the Parks Highway is still not that great either. Icy glazed areas, some snow on the roadway. Just give yourself plenty of time to get to your destination. All right, here's your forecast for the remainder of the night. 40 below at the airport, colder in the low-lying areas with areas of ice fog developing. The forecast will mainly look at ice fog in the morning, burning off by afternoon, 21 degrees below zero. There is some good news for you. As you can see, temperatures starting to rise nicely toward the end of the 5-day period, even above zero, in the 10-degree above zero category. How about that? But until then, we've got 40 below temperatures expected for Saturday and Sunday night, and then a gradual warming. But like I said, the trend is for much warmer temperatures next week, and we'll definitely welcome that.
Yeah, 10 above, hey, you got to take it.
Yeah, you can definitely tell it's cold, though. I called to get some fuel, and not till Tuesday. So hopefully it won't run out over the weekend.
Let's hope not, yeah.
Yeah, but wow, cold weather. Yeah, you got to love it.
40 below.
That's right. All right, that will wrap up this edition of the Fbx Evening News. We're glad you could join us.
Tonight at NBC Nightly News, John Kerry arrives in the Ukraine as the U.S. weighs sending arms. That's next with Brian Williams.
Join us here 6 days a week at 6 and 11 or online anytime at webcenter11.com.
From all of us here at the News Center, have a good night.